Gail says MoDean's 2 is being haunted by Uncle Eddy's horny spirit Undaunted, so the Hicks are on the case, a paranormal goose chase, while Bonnie McMurray walks around flaunted. It's Wine Wednesday. And that means we're once again hanging out at the Produce Stand, a podcast paying tribute to the great Canadian show, Letterkenny. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are many other podcasts about Letterkenny out there, but this one is a big leaguer with the full-size chocolate bars. I'm Al. I'm Al, your host. And joining me in the room, as always, is the lovely Tanya. And online, we have the very spooky Victor. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
Yeah. So you may notice that we are missing a member. Matt, Squirrely Matt, unfortunately, got some bad news about his dog. And so that he's not able to join us tonight. He talked about it last week a bit, and so they were waiting on some test results, and unfortunately today they got the results, and they were kind of the worst possible results. So he and family are spending, the last remaining quality time with Ollie, and we wish them the best, and hope that they have as good a holiday as they can under the circumstances.
Definitely in our thoughts and prayers.
Yes. And hopefully he'll be back next week with us. And hopefully we have Dean back with us next week as well.
Is Dean next week?
Yeah, Dean's next week. But also there was some unfortunate news in Dean's world. So we'll wait and see whether we record next week. But stay tuned. Anyway, but we do have quorum today. We have 3. So I think that's good although I feel like I'm going to be outnumbered this week. So let's just get started.
How are you now?
How was your week? The lineup for today will be Victor, Tanya, Al. Victor, how was your week?
It was good, but before we go, have you forgotten to flip some switches here? Because I don't think I'm hearing audio that I'm supposed to.
I'm sorry. We're off script. We're just. I usually remind Al to share screen.
There we go.
That was my bad. That was my bad.
Everything's been thrown off without Matt here. Everything's been thrown off. I'm feeling outnumbered.
Outnumbered.
That's all right. But we're here. We're here for you. We're the safety net. Don't worry.
How was your week, Victor?
The week's it's winding down. 1 day left. Should be half a day, but unfortunately, probably will be the full day. But we do get the full break starting tomorrow, and we're not coming back till January 4th. So there's that.
Yes.
I'm a little bit livid, actually. I was trying to do something nice and get some gift cards for the team. And I thought, usually we get together in person and we get to do, it's a little more personal and whatnot, but it's a bit of a different year. So everybody likes Lindt chocolates, and I almost feel like I shouldn't be advertising them at this point. So I thought I'd get some digital gift cards from that folks could go to their site and order their favorite chocolates, and they'd be delivered, and awesome. Good times for all. So I ordered these gift cards thinking that I'd get an immediate or at least get an email fairly soon after the order, and nothing came. All I got was, okay, you got charged for the amount, and we'll let you know when your order is ready. What do you mean my order is ready? It's a digital gift card.
Yeah.
It should be automatic. Anyway. Yeah. So this was on Friday, and an hour goes by, 2 hours go by, and then so I send an email to their customer support, and then nothing, crickets. So I wait through the weekend. On Monday, I call their support number and explain the situation. And they said, "Well, we can't really help you, except we can send an email to the head office so they can look into the matter." And I'm thinking, what is the purpose of this number? Why do you exist? Like, what is, if you can't actually help? So they did that. And at the same time, I sent another email, no response, nothing. So Tuesday came, same thing. I called back, spoke to the same individual on the phone, and he said, "Didn't I tell you it's going to take up to 24 hours? Yes, but still nothing happened. And I'll send another email to the head office. Okay, thanks." And then so finally Wednesday came, and this morning I I called them again. I sent another email. This time I said, cancel my order, give me a full refund. You guys suck. I'm going to find a different method. So I called. They felt very sorry on the phone, but still couldn't help me. And then I was livid. So then I went and I found a different merchant, and was a really, really great experience. Gave me some really nice animated gift card, like little animated animation, like what do you call them?
For the emails.
Cards.
Yeah.
E-cards. E-cards, thank you. And that was really great. The team everybody got a nice personal message. They were very happy with it. Good times all around. Then 3:00 today, I get confirmation that my Lint gift cards had arrived.
Oh my
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
So I wrote a very, very strongly worded letter to their customer support. I said, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
The most frustrating and disappointing shopping experience of my life. That's frickin' embarrassing.
Yeah.
And you should be ashamed.
Did you kick a garbage can when you said that? Fucking embarrassing.
I wanted to, but I have my train set beside me, so I didn't want to destroy anything.
Or you should have you should have sent them the animated GIF of Coach doing that.
That's right. Anyways, so they responded to that pretty much immediately and gave me my refund. But anyway, a lot of energy.
That's to Lint there. You know what? I think they just got so full of themselves ever since they got the Swiss Chalet account from Toblerone.
Right.
I've never forgiven Swiss Chalet since then. For those of you who don't know, Swiss Chalet is like a restaurant chain in Canada, barbecued chicken restaurant. And around this time they have the festive special, so you get like chicken and potatoes and stuffing. And it used to be you'd get a full size Toblerone bar. It was my favorite thing. I couldn't wait. And then one day it was no longer Toblerone; it was Lint. And I mean, it's good chocolate, but it's not Toblerone. I mean, Toblerone's, I don't know. It's fun.
We can start, having a discussion about what's better. But I think Toblerone is less. It's now Lint's everywhere, right? Yeah. Everybody gets it's just not so unique anymore, even though it is pretty high end.
Yeah.
But at a Toblerone, that's a special treat, right? Because typically people don't have those around. So that was a little special. But regardless, not a good experience.
No. So to Lint we say,
sort yourself out.
All right, Tanya, how was your week?
Oh, you know what? I'm with Victor. Today was my last day of work, and I was so thankful for that. I just totally need that break, and that, work has been stress. It's been go, constant. Unfortunately, our daughter came home sick, brought home a cold from school and passed it on to our son. And so now she's better and he's sick. So I've been going nonstop trying to force tea down his throat, and everybody's getting oil of oregano to keep our immune systems up, and vitamin C. And so far, so good. He's feeling a little bit better, knock on wood.
And how are you feeling, Tanya?
Now he's gotten me sick, and now my throat is starting to really hurt when I swallow and stuff. So yeah, it's coming for me. So I'm very, very thankful. I want to celebrate that today is the day that we can just say goodbye to work. One thing off the to-do list.
Yes, wondrous.
All the wrapping is done. The tree is looking fuller. And looking forward to this. This is going to be a lovely, wonderful. I'm looking forward to the rest and relaxation and fun. Mm-hmm. I have, I want to say, so I've got some ideas, and I wanted to pass them on or share them with people. So because we can't be with our family, especially we were going to have masks on and try to get in a little visit, but that's not going to work with this cold that we have. So anyways, I bought the game Categories, and I don't know if everybody knows that game, but it's the game that you roll the dice and it has all the letters of the alphabet on it. And then you've got this list of categories. Mm-hmm. And then everybody's got to come up with a what's the word I'm looking for? A word for each one of the categories with that letter.
Yeah.
So anyways, I photocopied scatterers. I photocopied the game and then sent it to my sister for her to play and my parents to play and for us to play, so we can try to do a game online together and have a games night as a family. And that game, you're kind of not talking over each other, so I'm hoping it's going to work. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's a good cottage game. I love playing categories at the cottage, but should work over Zoom, I think. So
yeah,
that's a creative way to spend some time over Zoom. I wonder, Zoom's going to be busy, I think, over the holidays.
They've been busy for the last 9 months. So.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
The other game that I'm in the process of creating is a scavenger hunt, and the clues are going to come from our family to the kids, and the kids have to go find the things that I hide in the house, but the clues are coming from them. So another way for our families to kind of still play with each other and be with the kids in a safe way.
Mm-hmm. We just did that at work as part of a team activity, and everybody had a hoot with that. So, like we'd say, go find something that smells nice, or go find something that's blue. And the first person that came back with the 10 things and was able to show them on camera ended up winning a gift certificate, but not from Lint. But
never from them ever again.
No, never again.
That's cool. I like that idea too.
And that was really fun. Everybody had a blast.
That's cool. So there's no reason why that should be happening anymore in this day and age. I like the recognition program we use at work. Last year I cashed out all my points, and basically it's one of these things where you do a good job and somebody recognizes you and gives you points, and then those points you can trade them in for they've got like stuff you can, like merchandise you can buy, or you can trade it in for gift cards. I usually just go for the gift card route. I think most people do.
Yeah, that's what I do.
But the stupid thing is the gift cards are actual cards. There's no way to transfer it into just digital certificates. So last year and even this year, I cashed out all my points because I wanted to buy myself something fun for Christmas. Last year I spent it all on my pedal board, but I had to cash all my points in and then wait for the email to come in. I only did in increments of $20 to $5, so there was like a ton of certificates that I had to redeem $25 at a time, and then I had to wait for them to mail me the Amazon gift cards. Like why can't this all be digital? Like
it can. It's just that you're stuck in that old system.
Yeah, I know. It's so frustrating because I'm like,
no. We are the system we use is more instant, and it's all digital. Like you get the actual codes through an email, and you can use it right away.
Everyone's headed in that direction. This just gave everyone that boost, and we're going to see more of it. It's going to get better.
Yeah.
I firmly believe.
Well, I went through that hell last year, and then this year again. And I don't want, people aren't going to feel bad for me because I'm having a hard time cashing in money in order to buy myself gifts. But it was just a pain in the butt. And this year again, I'm like, what? Even after COVID, like everybody's going digital except for this company that's still snail mailing. Oh, and the best part too, every gift, I couldn't even do a bulk order of the gift cards. So every gift card came in its own envelope. So
yeah, but Al, it's a very easy thing to change. It's just the person in charge of that program. For them, that's not the top priority, so they're not even thinking about it. Yeah. But if let's say they picked up the phone and called and said, "Hey, this is not good. Can you fix it for us?" Then it would be be immediate.
I complained, Elizabeth, last year. Oh, I love the program except for this one thing, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'll take it under advisement." And of course, nothing got done this year. So I'm hoping that gets improved next year. Again,
it's not a technology problem.
Yeah, it's a first world problem too, right? So I don't want to people feel bad for me because
we don't feel bad for
exactly. But it was still a pain in the butt. And this year I couldn't even spend it on myself.
Well, anyway.
I got my guitar back though. My guitar is back from the shop, so I'm very excited, and I'm going to start playing around with it.
I didn't know that your guitar was in the shop in the first place. What happened? Were you like mimicking that scene from the Skids? What happened?
No. It was just I wanted to get there was a hum coming from the pickups or something. So I wanted to get that fixed.
So the action maybe needed to be adjusted.
Yeah. So hopefully they fixed it. So I'll be able to start playing and recording again, and that'll be fun. So let's time for a word from our sponsor. Dennis Gugin. He's the owner and proprietor of Dennis Gugin's custom Funko Pop culture collectible. Let me try that again. Dennis Gugin's custom Funko Pop culture collectible vinyl figures. If you don't know what a Funko Pop is, figure it out. And for the rest of you, check out Dennis's work. He creates custom Funko Pop characters of anyone you can think of. Some of my favorites of his include Eddie Van Halen, Mike Tyson, Eminem, and the entire cast of Letterkenny, and you. That's right. You can have your own custom Funko Pop of you or someone you love or hate if that's your kink. Either way, Dennis is your man. Check out his work on Facebook or Instagram at DJ Pop Customs. Drop him a line if you're interested in a custom Funko Pop of your own. We would love to thank Dennis for his support. He's been our sponsor for all of season 3, and it's been great. And speaking of support, we have 28 new Twitter followers this week. So I'm going to read them all out. Welcome to Jeff, David Campbell, Samira Ariana, Ray from Akron, Ohio, Julian's Rum, Letterkenny Podcast from Toronto, Jim Redmond, Kayla G, Benji Fiend from Emeryville, California, Ike Lawson, Jennifer LaBelle, Anthony M. Noto, Ace, Ashley Yancey from Toronto, Bobby Nissan, It Don't Be Like That Sometimes, Letterkenny Answers, 2 Pints Boabie, I don't know. 2 Pints Bobby, let's say. Podflix and Chill, Midwest Raider, Enraged Ferret, I love that one. Festivus for the rest of us. Joshua Young from Boise, Idaho. Sarah Vogel from Denver. At Read Think Be Good. And Megan. Thank you all for following us on Twitter and hopefully listening to the podcast.
Hey, happy Festivus, everybody.
Yes, happy Festivus.
Oh, and I wanted to say, too, I learned something new about the hippopotamus, and I wanted to share it with Victor.
Go for it.
That's incredible.
Veronica, our daughter, she actually schooled me on the hippo and was like, Mom, they have pink skin. And I said, no, they don't. They're gray. And she's like, no, it's true. They have pink skin.
Yeah,
and I had to do a Google search, and she was right. And I thought, oh, my God, I've got to tell Victor.
What makes them gray then? I don't understand.
They're not gray.
They're pink.
They're what?
I know, right? That's what I was like.
Okay,
she's got to be wrong. She's like using the wrong crayon on the hippo. That's what I was thinking, and so I Googled it, and it's true. They underneath they're what is it now? They're neutral. The underneath the whatever. Anyways, they're pink. They're pink.
Do they have fur or something that covers up the pink? Or I don't understand.
It's like
like a
I don't know it's like, cilia, right? Or like, not sure what you call it, but
I remembered that
we'll have to do more of the intranets there to get the, when my kids
okay, there's kind of pink there, but it's kind of gray on their back. But okay, I don't know.
We have like a plethora of books still about the hippo that to talk all about this stuff. So I was like an encyclopedia about it now, but
I saw your background there of the hippo and it reminded me. So I wanted to put that in.
So I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
I want a hippopotamus. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Well, don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
Last week, we reviewed episode 6 of season 3, Bradley is a Killer. That episode got a fresh rating from Matt and myself, a clearance from Tanya, and a compost from Victor. Wah, wah. Predictably, Twitter was on the right side of the ratings with an overwhelming 93.8% giving it a fresh.
Oh my gosh.
Has Twitter ever not given an episode a fresh
Okay,
rating?
It doesn't matter. They didn't agree with you. 6.3% giving it a clearance, and there were no votes for compost, Victor. This week we recap.
Yes, there were. I didn't want to spoil the broth.
This week we recap and review the Letterkenny Halloween special, The Haunting of MoDean's 2. Victor, have you done your homework?
I have.
Tanya, have you done your homework?
I have.
And of course, I've done my homework. So we begin with the cold open. The Hicks are at the produce stand They comment on how lush and green it is for October. So a bit of an inside joke there because they were probably shooting that scene in middle of summer in Canada or maybe spring, how green it was instead of actually October. So it's lush and green in October. So Al Gore's must be onto something. It's Devil's Night and the shitheads will be out causing mischief, but you can't scare Wayne. And Katie responds with, yeah, we know. And Wayne pokes fun because that's the fun of it. So Squirrely Dan interjects, speakings of mischief, his cousin Samuel, which Wayne interrupts, you mean speaking of shitheads? Squirrely Dan says he's very sorry for what he did last Halloween. Katie asks what Samuel did. Samuel stole candy from his little sister. Both Wayne and Katie call him a little fucker. But Squirrely Dan says Samuel's really sorry for what he did and he'd like to come by to show Wayne his costume this year. Wayne says that poor behavior is not to be rewarded, it's to be punished, and Samuel's not welcome for a full-size chocolate bar this Halloween. Wayne thinks they should be discussing the origins of Halloween, the history of it, but before they start celebrating the bastardized North American version of things, Derry has an objection.
From where I'm sitting, looks like you're curled up nice and cozy with the bastardized North American version of it, Wayne. What's the problem, Derek? Someone who doesn't even like kids. You got a lot of nerve, Big League and the rest of the town handing out full-size chocolate bars.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of nerve backdooring trick-or-treaters by handing out quarter-sized chocolate bars on Halloween.
Get off your wallet, Derry.
I'll get off my wallet when he quits throwing around nickels like they're manhole covers.
Geez, this one won't gets off his wallet, and this one's tossing around nickels like the manholes covers.
What? There's 5,000 people in Letterkenny. And do you want to know what their problem is? Wayne. Big league in them.
Haven't you never heard the expression, do unto others as you would have them do unto you?
Ain't you never heard of the expression, do unto others before they do unto you?
You're fucking up, bud.
364 days a year, this guy's all, I don't give a shit about your kids. And somebody should hit Samuel.
Somebody should hit Samuel.
And then comes Halloween, you got a big league everybody by handing out full-size chocolate bars.
Get off your wallet, Derry.
Yeah, what's in your jeans, bud?
You know, the whole town's talking about how you big leagued them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, all trick-or-treaters talking about how you backdoored them. That's all I'm saying.
I'll backdoor you like I backdoored those trick-or-treaters.
Wayne and Derry exchange stink eyes. Squirrely Dan wonders perhaps they should set some context for that comment. Back to Samuel. He's not welcome to come for a full-size chocolate bar. Derry calls that charitable. So that's one last set of parents that Wayne will be big leaguing. And that's one more trick-or-treater that Derry is going to backdoor. Wayne and Derry exchange stink eyes again. Katie calls for context as well. Wayne tells them both to get their minds out of the gutter. And we cue the intro music.
What else can that mean, though? The whole backdooring.
What do you think?
No. I know the inappropriate one.
Well, that's what they're saying.
What is the actual?
No, in this context, Derry's backdooring, but because he's giving away quarter-sized chocolates instead of full-size chocolates. So that's.
I'm like, what the hell are they talking about? All right,
Victor, what did you think of that cold open?
It was good. It was fun. It wasn't like, oh my God, that was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But I had fun with it.
Yeah. It was a good setup to the story. Tanya, what did you think?
Yeah, no, it was fun. That's my favorite expression that Wayne used. So I liked it. It was the do unto others as you would want done yourself. And then I liked how Derry put a stupid twist on it.
Yeah.
But not the back door.
No,
not the back door. No.
I love the stink eye looks that Derry gives to Wayne. It looks like they're about to fight. He gives them these hilarious looks. Yeah, it was a fun cold open. Set the stage for the episode and brought back one of our favorite kids to hate, Samuel. So that's a fun little look back there. I mean, the time, just like the St. Paddy's Day episode, the timing of this is kind of nebulous because like Katie's not with Riley or Jonesy, and so we don't know exactly when this takes place in context with the storyline that just ended with season 6. So
they're kind of on their own.
Yeah,
because even Rosie's not there.
No, Rosie's not there, and we see Glenn acting as a pastor again, which he doesn't do in the entire, which we'll get to. But yeah, he doesn't do that in the entire season. But in this episode, he's back at being a pastor.
Well, and that's the only inconsistency with it. Well, it's not inconsistency, but it's just something that's just off because they are in MoDean's too. So that kind of tells you where you are and where you're not. Yeah. But you do see a pasture instead of just Glenn. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting.
Scene number 1, the Hicks arrive at MoDean's. They've been summoned by Gail, who sounded rattled. Derry and Wayne are still arguing over big legging versus backdooring. They walk into the bar and Wayne asks Gail if she's hungover because she's holding a glass of water. Gail says it's holy water. Gail loves a good horror movie and she loves a good scare, but MoDean's 2 appears to be haunted. Neither Wayne or Katie believe her. To prove it, Gail shows them a jar sitting on the shelf behind the bar with something floating in it. It's Uncle Eddy's Pig Hoof Hops Ale. Katie says Uncle Eddy was a good guy. Wayne says he was a really good guy.
He's come back from the dead for one more go. Tried to get me to drink that shite with him in bed.
You took down Uncle Eddy?
I took him down once.
How's that for you?
Ecstasy.
Why only once?
Because he died shortly after.
He died in his 90s.
Yeah.
What are you doing taking down geriatrics, Gail?
Well, you never met no one with a Jerry care fetish before? The fuck out of here.
But you never been to limbparty.org? Fuck out of here.
So you think Uncle Eddy is haunting MoDean's too?
I know he's haunting MoDean's too. There's his pig hoof hops front and center.
Gail's right.
Pardon?
How else he explains this?
Literally 1 million ways.
Derry goes on to list off the explanations, like it could be a ghost or a ghoul or a spirit, a phantom or an orb, ectomist, poltergeist, an angel or an archangel, a demon, elemental. Katie cuts him off. It's none of those things. Then Squirrely Dan chimes in with his opinion.
Oh, it's a ghost. But it might fall under one of the many sub-ghost categories. Now, you got your vengefuls, you got your hungries, you got your residuals, got your messengers, got your inanimates. You got your artificials, aminals, childs. Then you got all your different types of lady ghosts. You got your ladies in red, ladies in white, ladies in black, ladies in blue, ladies in purple, ladies in vermilion, ladies in the burnt orange siennas. Then you got your Bloody Mary. We're not even getting into Japanese ghosts. Holy jeez.
No, you don't.
Spirit energy doesn't just goes away, Wayne. It circulates.
It circulates. Gail turns to Wayne. If it isn't any of those things, then what does he think it is? Wayne says he'll make a call. But just then a loud bang comes from the kitchen, which startles the Hicks, except for Wayne. Bonnie McMurray, slow motion, walks out of the kitchen dressed like Britney Spears from Hit Me Baby One More Time. Squirrely Dan, Derry, and Katie fawn over Bonnie, complimenting her on her costume. Bonnie's confused by the mention of a costume. Wayne thinks he may know the reason for the schoolgirl get up.
Bonnie.
Wayne?
Did you make your angel food cupcakes for the annual Catholic School Alumni Bake Sale to raise much-needed funds for the missionary trip to Nicaragua?
Sure did, Wayne.
Good for you. Enjoy yourself.
I will.
I like the way Wayne says Nicaragua. Next scene, Derry is sampling and reviewing an IPA in the most snooty way possible, much to the annoyance of Katie and Wayne. But Squirrely Dan looks on thirstily, and when given the opportunity to taste it, he takes the glass and he downs it. Before we move on, it was pointed out to me in our Twitter DM group that during this scene, and this scene happens a couple more times in the episode, Derry's actually sitting on a...
I was going to bring that up.
Oh, so you noticed that?
I did.
So the Hicks are all sitting on stools, but
Yes.
Derry's sitting on a saddle.
Yes.
Which apparently it's a visual gag that he's actually sitting on a high horse, and because he's being all kind of snooty about the beer he's tasting and stuff.
I completely caught that because I was looking at the stools going, okay, he has Katie and Wayne, they have backs to their chairs.
Yeah.
And there's oh my God, his name's just escaped me.
Derry?
Derry is sitting on a saddle.
I never noticed it was a saddle. And somebody awesome from the Twitter DM group, she's like, this is one of my favorite visual gags of the show. I'm like, can you please explain? Because I didn't get it. And then she said, he's on a saddle. He's high on his horse, talking about beer. And I completely missed that, the second, third, and fourth time
I feel even
that.
Better that I caught it and you didn't.
Well, there you go. Derry's really good in this episode. He kind of shines in this one. And it's like these scenes that he does with the beer are a lot of fun to watch. When he's talking about this beer here, he's doing some weird stuff with his hands. It's like he's rolling dice or something as he's talking and drinking the beer, and it's just weird. But anyway, moments later, Riley and Jonesy have been summoned to MoDean's for interrogation regarding the supposed haunting.
So you think it's us, boys?
Why, boys?
Because last night was Devil's Night.
And your shitheads.
Oh, okay, so you think we're playing pranks now, huh?
Well, it's clear there is a unique brand of tomfuckery at play.
I haven't smashed a pumpkin on someone's doorstep since grade 9, boys.
I haven't stuffed an egg up a tailpipe since grade 8, boys.
I haven't silly stringed a car since grade 7.
I haven't TP'd a tree since grade 6.
Yeah, but Doozers have an Appleby.
We definitely have Ablablies.
I'm glad you asked about our Ablably.
We prepared a PowerPoint presentation.
Ablablai. I'm going to start calling it that.
But these guys have Ablebees.
Ablablai.
The more they say it, the wronger it gets. Jonesy sets up a screen, and out of nowhere, they turn a projector on and present their PowerPoint.
Haunting took place between the hours of 3 a.m. and 9 a.m.
And I was taking down this swipey snipey between the hours of 3 a.m. and 6 a.m.
And I was taking down this swipey snipey between the hours of 3 a.m. and 6 a.m.
Nice work, boys.
Wait a minute, that's only 3 hours.
What were you doing between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m.?
I'm glad you asked. This is where things got a little complicated, boys.
Riley's swipey snipey hit me up after taking down Riley.
Jonesy's swipey snipey hit me up after taking down Jonesy.
Accidental tunnel buddies.
How'd you guys figure that out?
Well, we FaceTimed each other from the swipey snipey's beds.
After the takedowns.
This is exactly what Uncle Eddy wanted. Get me thinking about takedowns. Sure as I flick, it's a ghost doing this trick.
No, it isn't.
Gail turns to Wayne. Then what is it, cowboy? Wayne wants to make another call, and just then they hear a loud bang from the kitchen. Out comes Bonnie McMurray, dressed as a very sexy soldier. Squirrely Dan, Derry, and Katie, and even Riley and Jonesy make comments on her costume. But again, Bonnie seems confused with the mention of the costume. And again, Wayne provides some insight as to what might be going on.
Bonnie.
Wayne?
Did you cadets make up your hearty harvest chili for the annual potluck supper for our amputee war vets in the cancer ward?
Sure did, Wayne.
Good for you. Enjoy yourselves.
I will.
Next scene.
So wait. So this is where I'm wondering: am I the only one that's kind of confused in the room? This is where sometimes I watch the show and I'm thinking I shouldn't be confused watching this show.
Okay.
So what's happening with Bonnie? Like, why is she changing outfits? Is this really just like a big skit and you shouldn't be asking those questions?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Or is there a timeline happening? Because if she really did go to this Catholic school before,
I think it's just I think it's a joke.
It's just a skit.
It's a skit.
So I'm overthinking.
Yeah. Each time she comes out and she's wearing she's wearing some kind of outrageous outfit, and it's not a costume.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But what does she do? Like, I was just thinking, like, what are you doing? Like,
it's a bit
show and tell.
It's a bit.
Are you playing dress up?
Oh, I absolutely think it's a show and tell. I think the show creators want to show off Bonnie McMurray and appease some.
So there isn't actually anything. So there isn't really a story happening here. It's really just a skit.
I think it's just people want more Bonnie McMurray. Yeah.
All right. All right. No, that's fine. I'll put my brain on the shelf. I won't ask stupid questions.
Scene number 3, Derry is doing his snooty beer review again. Just like Derry's beer reviews, kind of the same thing. And
but those are kind of little filler things for fun. But but that's part of, like, the whole episode is just a bunch of little filler things for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So far.
Yeah, and again, Squirrely Dan takes the glass and he downs it. Second interrogation involves Tanis and her boys.
You think this is an Indian haunting? You've watched too many shitty movies.
Well, no one's implying that, but we're just covering their bases.
You do have a rich history of tomfuckery in this town, and that can't be denied.
Well, is this place built on an ancient Indian burial ground?
Not to my knowledge.
Did you find a tomahawk lodged in your door?
Not yet. No.
Did you wake up with moccasins at the foot of your bed?
But is that a thing? Because...
Okay, just get yourselves a couple of dream catchers and stop watching shitty horror movies.
Another loud bang from the kitchen, and once again, Bonnie McMurray comes out dressed as a sexy Pocahontas. This gets everyone's attention, including Tanis, but for a very different reason.
Okay, do I actually have to explain this? You better go home and change, or I will fight you.
I will fight.
Yeah, she was out for blood there. But once again, Wayne to the rescue.
Bonnie.
Wayne.
On your way to the protest rally up country to provide glaring examples of cultural appropriation for people who don't understand cultural appropriation, but probably should?
Sure am, Wayne.
Good for you. Enjoy yourself.
I will.
So yeah. So Victor, of course, the timeline of this doesn't make any sense because the whole ghost thing happens in one day, but everything Bonnie does is like probably could be 3 separate days, right?
Yeah.
But so it's just it's a joke. It's a gag, right? Just then, Uncle Eddy's jar moved and startled everyone. Katie thinks the building just shifted. Derry thinks it's probably just the shelves expanding because of the heat or shrinking because of the cold. Gail thinks it's Uncle Eddy's ghost coming back for another takedown. Wayne disagrees. And what is it, Gail asks. Wayne responds, literally 500 million things. He'd like to make another call. So scene 4, Derry doing another snooty IP review, and Squirrely Dan goes for the glass, but this time Derry pours a shot of beer into another glass and gives it to a very disappointed Squirrely Dan. Next under the spotlight are Pastor Glenn, Stuart, and Rold. They all deny having anything to do with the haunting. They offer a plan. They will have a seance to summon Uncle Eddy and get him to possess Rold. Then Pastor Glenn will exorcise the demon out of Rold and send him down to hell. This gets a reaction from Wayne and Katie, who say Uncle Eddy, he was a great guy.
Begging your pardon, but anybody that comes back from the dead to have non-consensual sexual relations with a woman outside of wedlock, may I add, is not a good guy.
The seance begins and Stuart asks for silence, but is interrupted repeatedly. First by Squirrely Dan, who farts. That was the ghost of yesterday's dinner. Then by Derry, who burps. Sorry, give me a stage like that and I'm going to have to dazzle. And finally by Gail, who queefs. Quips, yeah. Yeah, Wayne. The seance finally continues, and after a few moments, Rold begins to speak with a demonic low voice. But he isn't possessed. He's just got a very deep voice, which freaks him, Stuart, and Glenn out. Stuart pleads to Glenn to exorcise him.
What? I don't know how to do that. I did not think it would come up.
Panic increases among the three of them as everything they try fails, and Rold continues to sound like a demon. Glenn throws holy water on Rold, which upsets him, and he chases both Stuart and Glenn out of the bar. The Hicks are left behind trying to process what they just witnessed.
You want to know what? My friend Sean Amsing has a Halloween party in the city before Halloween every year, and he calls it premature ejaculantern.
That's good.
It's clever.
I liked that.
He's a really funny guy.
So, you know that whenever a name gets mentioned on the show, especially in that much detail, it's probably somebody real. And
you think so?
And there's probably a good story behind it. So I looked up the name Sean Amsing to see like if there's anything about him online, and I hit the jackpot. He not only is he a real person, he's a Canadian actor, musician, comedian, writer, and host. And the most interesting part, though, is that he's a rapper, and his rapper name is Kaboom Atomic, which their music has been featured more than a few times on Letterkenny episodes. So right there, we see.
Look at you hitting jackpot.
Yeah. So yeah, Kaboom Atomic and Sean Amsing, same person, and I guess buddies with.
I'm gonna listen out for that stuff now.
Yeah. So there's another one coming up actually. So back to the story. A bang is heard from the kitchen, and out walks Bonnie McMurray, dressed as a sexy baseball player.
Well, now that has got to be a costume. I mean, Christ, she could make a softball hard.
Oh, she could play on my field.
Dingers all day, boys.
Bonnie.
Wayne.
You on your way to the annual Jeff Davies Memorial Baseball Tournament to raise money for Pitbull Puppy Mill Rescue?
Sure am, Wayne.
Good for you. Enjoy yourself.
I will.
Is that this weekend?
Yeah, it's this weekend.
Jeff was a good guy.
Jeff was a great guy.
Jeff is a babe.
One of the greatest. Jeff fucking Davies.
I feel like Jeff would know what to do.
All right. So I looked up Jeff Davey. He sadly passed away in 2008, was from Harriston, Ontario, 20 minutes down the road from Listowel, and was a big supporter of minor sports, especially baseball. Each year, the JYD tournament raises money in Jeff's name for local charities and has raised $175,000 in the 9 years since it began. But it wasn't for the Pitbull Puppy Mill Rescue, like they say in this episode, but he's a real person who passed away, and they mention him in the show. So there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Pretty cool.
I like the that they do that. That's cool.
So here we go. Wayne wants to make one more call. Scene 5, Derry's beer review. This time they're in the dark, and he comments on how when you can't see your sense of taste is heightened. Squirrely Dan talks about a date he took to one of those places in the city.
Yeah.
Gail adds that all the staff in those places are blind. Have you been to Noir, Victor?
I haven't been. I was meant to go, but it just never.
Would you go?
Stars never aligned.
So Noir is the one place that I know of anyway. I don't know if there's more than one in Toronto where you can go, and it's basically it's a restaurant. It's pitch black, all the wait staff. I don't know if the cooks are also blind or just the wait staff. And you sit there in complete darkness, and it's supposed to heighten the experience. You're supposed to
see. I don't think I would do that with regards to food, but I would do it for something else. Like food, I take I'm pretty picky with what I put in my mouth.
You really like surveying your food before you eat it. It's a little annoying actually, but
so I'm not entirely sure I would do it in an aspect to the food, but I would do it for something else. I think that's a cool idea.
What else would you do? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what
mini golf.
Flying mini golf.
I don't know what else you would apply it to. But yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of control that I would have to give up.
It would. I don't know. I'd give it a go. I think
I think I do. I mean, you don't have to order anything exotic. Just order something safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's more about the experience.
Okay, I'll order vegetarian.
What?
I'll go that.
No,
because I'd be all weirded out about the food, about the meat.
You're particular about the meat. I'd be all into it.
Yeah, you're getting a little too. Yeah, I mean, don't. You're not going there to order a steak. Just order something safe, and enjoy the experience. Right?
It's a cool looking place. Have you ever driven by it? It's basically on the outside. There's a doorway going down into the sidewalk. Like it's kind of one of those weird kind of places, but yeah.
How do you? That's a lot of control. That's a lot of food. I don't know. Like, is it clean?
The whole point.
I know that would be hard to give up control, but for that.
I'm wondering if they must be shut down for the pandemic. So hopefully they reopen and we get a chance to do this one day. We should do like a research trip, an R&D.
Yeah, let's do it together.
Yeah, I'd love that.
I'll order bread.
Scene 5. Derry's beer. We already talked about that. Let's see. Next up to be interrogated are McMurray and Mrs. McMurray. Katie tells him she doesn't believe it's a ghost. McMurray is sure it's a ghost. He and Mrs. McMurray went down to the Dominican one time and got a guided tour with some genuine ghost hunters who taught them everything they goddamn know. McMurray shows him a device which no one can see, but it looks very much like a walkie-talkie. This device transmits ghost speak. When he fires it up, all he hears are people talking shit about him. It turns out that it's just a walkie-talkie, and he set up in the break room in the barn to make sure the farmhands weren't talking shit about him, and it would appear that they're talking shit about him. The shit-talking turns to the subject of what they would do to Mrs. McMurray. This sends McMurray off in a murderous rage. After the McMurrays leave, Gail puts Uncle Eddy's jar in front of Derry and says he's going to have to drink it.
It's the only thing we haven't tried.
No, it isn't.
Then what, Wayne? What else can we try here?
Literally 5,500 billion things.
Uncle Eddy wanted me to drink it with him after I took him down, but I didn't. It's the only thing left to do to get rid of his ghost, so drink it, you fucking pussy.
Oh.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Hey.
No.
When a friend asks you for help, you help them.
No.
I do it for you.
No.
After a bunch more pressure is applied, Derry reluctantly unscrews the top of the jar and is about to drink the pig hoof hops ale, but mercifully, Wayne stops him.
Wait. Gail.
Wayne.
It was me.
What was you?
I know how much you love Halloween.
I know how much you love Halloween.
Well, see, there you go. It was only my intention to give you a bit of a thrill and have a little bit of fun with all the nutsacks in town. It was never my intention to get you this riled up. And boy, do I ever wish I wouldn't have discovered you took down my 90-plus-year-old uncle. That's when things took a real hard detour.
Wayne,
Gail.
It was a thrill.
Wayne and Gail shake hands. Then something catches Katie's eye. The Hicks turn, and Wayne is startled to see a silhouette of a small being standing there. Katie and Derry laugh at Wayne for getting scared. It turns out it's just Samuel. Wayne's about to give Squirrely Dan shit for defying Wayne's no Samuel order, but Squirrely Dan says Samuel has something he'd like to say to Wayne.
Samuel, you have the floor.
I'm sorry I stole the full-size chocolate bar you gave my little sister last Halloween.
I accept your apology, Samuel.
I was sick of Daryl backdooring me with the quarter chocolate bars.
I understand that, Samuel, but that doesn't make it right. I trust you've apologized to your little sister as well?
Yes, sir. And now my friend David wants me to say thanks for him for big leaguing the cheapskate beatskates in town who gave out half chocolate bars.
Please tell your friend David I'm more than happy to big league cheapskate beatskates like Daryl. But Samuel, big brothers are to look out for their little sisters.
Yes, sir.
You only get one family, Samuel. You are to treat them with love and respect.
I've learned my lesson, sir.
Good. And to make sure you've learned your lesson, you will not be receiving a full-size chocolate bar from your Uncle Wayne this Halloween.
Yes, sir.
In that amazing scene, we simultaneously get a glimpse into the kind of upbringing Wayne had as a child, probably, and also as the kind of parent Wayne would be if he ever had kids. Squirrely Dan says to Wayne, Samuel wanted to dress up as his hero for Halloween. Samuel steps out from behind Squirrely Dan to reveal that he's dressed exactly like Wayne. Plaid shirt, blue jeans, no belt. Squirrely Dan asks Samuel who his hero is, and Samuel answers, Wayne. Wayne's expression softens. His eyes go less squinty. He walks up to Samuel and picks him up like a toddler, which he isn't, and he says,
Samuel, I didn't say we couldn't split a full-size chocolate bar this Halloween.
Coconut? Coconut's fucking gross, asshole.
Wayne's squint returns and Squirrely Dan's reaction is priceless, and we fade to black.
That's a great ending.
I love that ending. All right. General thoughts on the episode, Victor?
There was lots of fun bits and there was also lots of confusion as I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on.
Well, now that you know what's going on, any less confusion, or you just
No. I mean, it's fine. It is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta sometimes just enjoy something for what it is and not try to overanalyze it.
Exactly.
Right?
It's a comedy, right? It's a comedy.
It's a piece of it's a comedy. It's a piece of art, and you gotta just accept it.
Tan.
Okay, may I say, I completely missed what was in the drink until right now. So, no, exactly. Until because when Al has it on the clips, you actually get to hear the words and stuff and hear what exactly was being said. So I missed that there was a hoof in the drink.
What did you think it was?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So with all the dick references in this show, I thought there was a dick of something. I don't know whether it was the uncle's dick that they were like petrifying in the drink. Like I took it to the next level.
One big dick.
And
I was going to say that uncle's a legend.
I was like, oh, well, they do reference dick a lot, so maybe there's a dick in the jar and it's being,
man.
petrified or purified. Like, I don't know, in the alcohol.
So up until now, you've been thinking dick.
I was thinking dick the whole time. Well, the show kind of leads me in that direction every episode, so I thought there was a dick. So, anyways, I was completely missed the hoof thing, and that makes a little bit more sense. And as Victor said, sometimes you get lost in what's going on. And yeah, I'm kind of glad that now I know there's a hoof in it and not a dick.
Well, I'm glad we were able to set that straight.
Yeah. So I love the whole. I made a list. So
well, that's good. That's good. I love that you're making notes here now.
I'm making notes because I don't want to miss anything. So I love the whole grossness. Absolutely, just like shudder and wrong. The whole tunnel buddies thing. That
tunnel buddies.
Tunnel buddy. Ugh, yuck.
You didn't love that?
Yuck. Oh my god, yuck. But
I thought it was hilarious.
It was a funny, gross yuck.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So okay. I love that Wayne has his thumb kind of on the pulse of Bonnie's social life and what is going on.
Yeah, he knows way too much about Bonnie's you're right.
Like everyone and the comments that everyone else makes about Bonnie's costumes as she comes out, they are like that's enough to make a softball go hard.
That's
like,
a great one. Yeah.
Squirrely Dan was just nailing it one after another. And I loved that. And I loved how Wayne, it was like, and Bonnie, is this what you're doing? I loved that. I love that Wayne was having fun messing around with Gail. Like that's what this whole episode is stemming on, and that it pulls all of the cliques, whatever you want to call them, together. We had no hockey players in this episode.
Well, you had Riley and Jonesy.
We had hockey players.
We had Riley and Jonesy.
They were swapping the bunnies.
But not
it wasn't a hockey scene. It wasn't a hockey scene.
But there was no going through the circle that they usually go through in the change room, right? So but in replace of that, they had Bonnie's parents.
No, not parents. McMurray and Mrs. McMurray. That McMurray is her brother.
What?
Yeah, they're brother and sister.
Say it again.
McMurray.
I thought Mr. McMurray was Bonnie's father.
No, they're brother and sister.
No.
I think so.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
No.
No.
You're so wrong.
Keep talking.
No. Bonnie's 21.
No. There's been episodes in the past where it's been clear that Bonnie is the daughter.
Bonnie's the daughter.
Keep going. Keep
All
talking.
right. So yeah. Okay. You need to sort yourself out on that one.
Maybe I do. I could have sworn that.
No, Bonnie is the McMurray's daughter.
No. Oh,
Yeah,
Bonnie's the daughter.
Yeah, she's the daughter.
There's no doubt in my mind.
No doubt in my mind either. I know I lose track of what's going on, but this one I know. Anyways, so instead of the whole circle of the change room with the jocks, or the
Bonnie is the younger sister of McMurray.
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
What?
McMurray,
that doesn't make any sense based on previous episodes.
McMurray often suggests to Wayne that she and Wayne would make a good pair. Bonnie is herself attracted to Wayne. No, they're brother and sister.
Bonnie.
I even found it odd. Hey, why are you trying to push your daughter onto Wayne?
Because he's not.
I swear, I'm right with you.
Yeah.
I am right with you, Victor. I thought for sure she was the daughter.
No, this is according to letterkenny.fandom.com and according to what I always thought, and I'm pretty sure in the episode where she's introduced, she's his son, sister. Sorry.
No.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm a little bit. I feel like I need to go and watch those previous episodes where those introductions happen because I feel like she was introduced as a daughter.
Nope.
I'm right there with you.
Sister.
I thought for sure she was the daughter.
I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really make that big of a difference. I was going to say, oh, my mind's blown, but is it really? Doesn't really make a difference.
Because it also, I mean, in terms of the ages of everyone, right? Like if Bonnie was Mrs. McMurray's daughter, and Mrs. McMurray, I know that Gail took down a 90-year-old, but Katie took down Mrs. McMurray, and so if that would have been, I don't know, a little weird.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with Wayne going out on a date with the psychiatrist, and she's the mother of that girl that we thought was in their 20s. So
a lot of confusion there. Anyway, Bonnie is McMurray's younger sister.
All right. Well, I'm looking at it, so it's fine. I'll take it.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for setting us straight on that one. Anyways, my final point is that I love that in all of this going on, that Gail hooked up with the uncle and turns it all back around on Wayne. So like, here's Wayne trying to do the Halloween trick on.
So is she
on
responsible for him dying? Is that
no? I don't think. Well, I don't think they
no,
say
she
that.
said shortly after. She couldn't do him twice because he died shortly after. Not
All
like right away, but like after.
And I had to stop. I had to pause when we were watching when we were doing our homework just to make sure Tanya heard Derry make the lemon party reference.
I'm telling you, they did a great job. They did a good job.
All right, that's awesome. That sounds promising. Okay, so my thoughts on the episode. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. I mean, it's a holiday special, so continuity of story doesn't matter in this because it's meant to be standalone, and I think they did it. Timeline issues aside, with Victor, pointing out with the whole Bonnie scenes or whatever, those are bits and they're funny, and so I don't, whatever. It doesn't bother me that this whole thing's supposed to happen in in one day, yet everything Bonnie's doing is like, kind of events. Several days worth of events. I like, bringing, I like storylines that involve all the four factions at the same time. So you get Riley and Jonesy, but it's not really a hockey storyline. You get Tanis and Slash and Axel, I guess they're called. But it's not a purely native storyline or anything like that. It's like everyone in town, and it's one storyline, and they're all just interacting with each other. Yeah. Yep. So I enjoyed that, and I thought the funny parts were genuinely funny, and that ending I laughed out loud actually because unlike all the other episodes we've watched, this was my first time this week watching this episode. I'd never seen it before, so it caught me off guard. Samuel's line at the end there, and I laughed out loud. I thought it was really, really funny and earned. I like right at the end, because first you get the melting of Wayne. Wayne hates kids, but somehow him seeing this kid and standing in front of him, looking at him, like looking like him, dressed like him, saying that he's his hero. Suddenly you saw like a crack in Wayne's armor, and he picks him up like he would pick up one of his dogs and offers and actually goes back on one of his rules and offers him half of his chocolate bar. And for that kid to turn around and do that was just so well done. It's such a good surprise. So let's get to ratings. Fresh, clearance, or compost. Victor, what do you give this episode?
So this is a tough one. I was really kind of teetering on this one because I tend to agree with kind of most of what you said, but I do think you're, I think a little bit over exaggerating the point about how everyone's together. Yeah, they are, but it's not like there's not really equal parts. It's really mostly the Hicks, and there's little tidbits of the others kind of coming in and playing the role. Like Pastor Glenn, that was a fun bit with Stuart and Rolled and stuff like that. And the hockey players they were just kind of in and out with that funny bit. It was mostly the Hicks, and then everybody had what I would call cameos, right? Including the McMurrays. That was a pretty quick scene. I think it's all good. I'm not faulting it for that. I'm just saying they were all together, but it wasn't about any of those players. It was really just about the Wayne playing the joke on Gail and how that kind of played out. So I'm all that is good. All that is good. All that is fresh. It was funny. It wasn't at any point kind of fall off the chair funny, but it was amusing and it was fun, and I like that. I have to really give this, and I know it's not going to be popular. I do have to give this a clearance because there's just I don't know. I just felt like there was too many points in the episode where I was kind of questioning myself as to what is actually going on. Whose uncle is Uncle Eddy?
He's from Uncle Eddy's Trust. He's the one who left them the $5,000.
He's a good guy. He's a really good guy.
He's a good guy, and I'm thinking, why is Gail sleeping with Uncle Eddy?
Because Gail is Gail.
Gail sleeps with everyone.
I don't think anyone's acting out of character in this episode.
No, I get it. And then I was just, and again, the whole Bonnie, and more Bonnie the better. Like if she was in every scene, I'd be completely happy with that. I'm not questioning that. I think that's awesome and great. It's just a fact, and here's where I kind of disagree with. Oh well, Wayne knows so much about Bonnie. Well, if all those skits aren't real, if it's just for the gag, then is his knowledge about what she's doing just part of the gag as well? You know what I mean? Like, what part of this episode is are we supposed to take with a grain of salt, and what part of it is kind of unfolding the layers about the characters and all that kind of stuff? So, and again, I don't want to kind of dissect it and pick it apart. All I'm saying is, because of those elements, for me, it's a clearance and not a fresh.
Boo.
See, and I think the whole Bonnie thing was like a callback to when they did the Shark's Tank thing, and Bonnie was standing there, and it was just always pivoting back to her, and she had this like few lines, and then
I think the show saw an opportunity to just feature her a little bit more. I think she's becoming a very popular character, and the more they use her, the happier the viewers.
And Tanya, that's a really good example in comparison. But in that episode, it worked. It didn't confuse you. If anything, it added.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it didn't. There was no timeline issue there. And here, you're just because of the things that Wayne was saying, and I'm thinking, so is this actually happening or not?
Yeah.
And
it leads you to a different time frame.
Yeah, and that's why I
see
kind of said, so what part of this is a skit and what part of it is part of the story?
I think the whole episode is a series of sketches. I think the whole episode is a series of sketches tied together with the main storyline of MoDean's being haunted.
It's an SNL skit.
And I respect that you're okay with that.
Yeah,
And
I am okay with that.
That's good.
Especially with a standalone.
And that's totally cool. And by the way, I'm okay with it as well.
Yeah.
Just for me, it's a clearance and not a fresh.
Especially though with a standalone holiday episode, that isn't so. Like if it were during the season, I might be with you that it's not continuing any real kind of storylines or plot points. It's meant to be a standalone episode that's featuring all the characters people love, and I thought
no issues with it.
I thought they did it really well. Sorry, Tan, you haven't given your rating yet.
Hi. So for all the things that I said before, that was written on my list. I'm going to say I'll give it a fresh.
Yay!
I thought it was really good. Oh, and I wanted to ask, was there a call-in for Matt?
No, unfortunately, because I don't think because of everything that happened,
Right.
it all happened today. I don't think Matt got a chance to actually watch the episode, so we won't know. It doesn't matter. Victor ruined the chance of getting a unicorn
like
anyway.
Fart Book though, so you know what? He didn't like Fart Book because it was like a one-off spoof, and then he liked
St. Patrick's Day. So I feel like I'm not going to put words in his mouth, and I'm not going to give him his rating. I think he'll like this one, but we'll let him let us know next week.
All right.
But so you're giving it a fresh.
I am.
Yeah. And I mean, had Victor not ruined the chance for the unicorn, I would have used
it. Wouldn't have been a unicorn with him.
It would have been a three-legged unicorn. It's not the same.
But
it would have been a unicorn with a nubbin.
Wayne likes the three-legged dogs even better.
Oh, right.
All right. This is absolutely a fresh for me. This was such a fun episode. You're right. If this were in the context of the season, I would understand some of your objections there, Victor, but this is a standalone holiday special meant to kind of showcase all the characters and put them in. And so, there's a bunch of sketches tied together with a fun storyline. And I just love the Samuel ending. I thought that was a lot of fun and well earned. So I definitely give this a fresh. All right, we'll move on to top 5 or favorite episodes. Victor, this doesn't dethrone any of yours.
No,
right?
I've only got fresh in my top 5.
Tanya, does this dethrone any of yours?
You know what? I have a poor memory.
So number 1, you have
I know,
Relations.
I'm looking at it, but I honestly don't remember the shows. That's the honest truth. So, I don't remember the shows, so I don't know. I'm gonna say no. Just to
I would
get
say
on with
keep
it.
the list as is.
Yeah, just to get on with it. Sure, go. No.
All right. This won't make my top 5 either because it would mean knocking off the season 1 episode 1, and I'm not ready to do that yet.
Can you add to our list what we gave it? Because I don't honestly remember if those are all fresh or not.
They're probably all fresh, but okay, I will do that for you next week. I promise.
Well,
I think at this point, all of our top 5s are freshes.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But
you got nothing but time as of today, Al. So
you would think, but anyway, I've got kids. All right, let's move on to some listener comments. This is from our buddy Jack in Melbourne. Jack just finished this week's pod. And I was surprised that the hockey story didn't help Tanya and Victor feel any better about last week's, and the chat here may provide some more context. I agree with Al. This was a much better season ending with exception of the Skids. I think they could have played more with the Tanis and Gabe battle than had last week's ending this week to wrap it up. Lastly, my thoughts go to Matt, who so sorry to hear about Ollie and the bad news this week. I hope I know all of us here wish her all the best and are thinking of you and Victor and hope everything works out. Thank you very much, Jack, for those words. I'm sure Matt will appreciate that. For our buddy Steven, just started the episode. Matt, sorry to hear about your pupper, man. I know it's hard. Al, I think Tanya made the best decision in not actually watching Lemon Party. Watching reaction videos is probably going to give her all the info she needs.
That's funny.
And from our newest member, Letterkenny Ostrich, great podcast. Couple of thoughts. Can't call Katie a puck bunny. From my understanding, a puck bunny sleeps with multiple players. Katie was more of a puck bunny dating both Riley and Jonesy than she is dating one, right? Just a thought. Victor and Tanya make great points defending their review of of episode 6, but I have to disagree. Cold Open was on point. Wayne and the boys letting loose for the first time was what it should be. I think the entire point of that was to show a completely different side of them throughout the episode, being annoyingly hammered, their overly positive reactions to Bradley, etc. Top tier episode, in my humble opinion. Thank you, Letterkenny Ostrich. And thank you all for everyone who comments and all our friends on the Twitter DM group. We had lots of great chats again this time. We were talking about stereotypical beers from different countries. Like everyone thinks if you're in the US, you drink Bud or Coors. Everyone in Canada drinks Blue and Canadian. Meanwhile, no one actually does.
I heard on the radio, there was a conversation about the Australian beer, and it's sold and does really well outside of Australia.
Yeah, I think that's Foster's
in Australia.
Well, that whole conversation started, I think, because somebody commented to Melbourne Jack about Foster's, and Melbourne Jack's like, "Am I supposed to know what that is?" So yeah, because Foster's was kind of popular.
It was on the news recently, like last week, I want to say.
Well, and I think Paul Hogan wasn't Crocodile Dundee. He was like in all those Foster's commercials, but in the US. So that probably made us all think, oh, everyone in Australia drinks Foster's.
So to be fair, I don't know how about you, but when my friends and I started drinking before of age, and we would get 2-4s for our nights of Genesis NHL 92 or 93 play and other things. It was the cheapest beer we could get, whether it was Labatt's or Budweiser or whatever. So we were drinking kind of Labatt's and Molson and Canadian.
Oh yeah, as a teenager and as like in my early 20s, I was doing the same. But I feel like now I think the IPAs and the smaller breweries have overtaken.
Well, those weren't a thing, right?
Yeah, they weren't before, but now they are.
Become within the last year or two.
Oh, well, in the last probably 10 years. But yeah, like I feel like now only old people or really young people who don't know any better will drink those beers because they're the ones that are most advertised on TV.
Yeah, for sure.
In Letterkenny news, you can tell we're approaching season 9. Which day after tomorrow, season 9 in Canada, and then on Boxing Day, season 9 in the US. Letterkenny coverage is ramping up all over the place, and there's just a few examples. So Crave PR on Twitter put out a fun little interview with Tyler Johnson and Evan Stern. That's Stuart and Rolled about working together in the increasing success of the series. That's a fun interview. I recommend people check out. I'll post links to all these interviews on our site so you guys can check it out. Is
there any spoilers in those interviews or no?
That one there, no. I think they just kind of talk in general about working together. The Montreal Gazette published an article, It's a Wonderful Life for Kenny's Small. I don't think any of these would have spoilers because the seasons aren't out yet, right? So Montreal Gazette published an article titled It's a Wonderful Life for Letterkenny's Small Town Brawlers with great insight from Jacob Tierney on the show's future, and it doesn't sound like they're planning on ending it anytime soon. In fact, in another article, the Globe and Mail article at the end that I'll talk about, they're saying that they're going to be shooting seasons 10 and 11 this spring. So we're going to get at least 2 more seasons after season 9. So that's amazing news. The Globe and Mail, and this is what I was talking about. Globe and Mail. Unfortunately, I don't pay for the Globe and Mail, so I couldn't read the article. But if anyone does have a Globe and Mail subscription, I will post a link to whatever the article is called. Letterkenny, the hard to explain Canadian masterpiece. So I'll post that link, and if anyone is a Globe and Mail subscriber, they can read it. Maybe come back to me with a book report. Another article from the AV Club talks about the show's stylized exercise in high wire wordplay. They go on to name St. Perfect's Day as the best episode of Letterkenny. So yeah, this article here was interesting because they claim that St. Perfect's Day is the best episode, which I'm not sure I agree. Obviously I don't agree because it's not even in my top 5. Agree. Yeah. One more article from the TV Junkies featured another interview with Tyler Johnson and Evan Stern. They seem to be making the rounds. The two, unfortunately, I can't get them on our podcast to save my life. The two talk about how they work together and how the Skids have evolved on the show. Plus, they also confirm what we thought all along. The inspiration for the dance moves is that video of the Skids dancing under the bridge. So they actually named that video. Remember that video we shared a few months back? That video is what they were given as an inspiration for their dance moves on the show. So we were right. And then somebody tweeted out a screenshot of episode 9 names and synopsis for those who can't wait. And I'll post a link to that too. So I guess Hulu already has the episodes names and a little description of each one on the platform. So you can kind of see what the episodes are about. And instead of there being 6 episodes this season, there's going to be 7 episodes. So all very kind of fun and very exciting news coming up. Any final comments before I play us off here? Victor?
No, not really. Just want to wish everybody a very safe, happy, festive, restful, and joyous holiday, and hoping for not sure if we're doing a podcast before the New Year or after the New Year, Al. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but
before.
If it's after the New Year, then I want to wish everybody a happy New Year and all the best for 2021.
The plan is next Wednesday, so it'd be before New Year's Eve.
Okay, but I take all that back.
Yeah, exactly. That'll depend on Dean and whether he can make it, because there's some stuff going on with him too. So hopefully we'll record next Wednesday. But if not, your sentiment still stands there, Victor.
All right.
Tanya, do you have any final comments?
I'll also then share my good wishes to everyone that just in case next week doesn't work. My nose is actually becoming very stuffed now, so I'm very I can't breathe anymore. So yes, health and happiness to everyone for 2021. Everyone, please stay safe. Best wishes for everyone, and happy holidays for whatever you celebrate, or just stay safe.
Mm-hmm. Stay safe and healthy. I'll say the same. Happy holidays to everyone. Please stay safe and healthy. It sucks. This year sucks, so we can't be with family. If we're playing by the rules, we can't be with family. But just know that it's just this one year. There was a year where we spent Christmas in a hospital because my mom had an accident, and we've
had some rough years. For sure.
And that Christmas was known as the Christmas we spent in the hospital. This Christmas will be
actually that was the year we spent in the hospital because your mom broke her knee and her shoulder, and then my mom, like 3 days later, broke her leg and both bones. And
was this inspired by Throw Mama from the Train?
No,
it was a brutal. It was like it was December.
Yeah.
It was, and it was, it was.
Yeah, we literally opened presents in the hospital.
In the hospital
visiting room.
Owen was maybe all of 2 or 3 at the time, and we took him to the hospital, and we celebrated there.
Yeah, so I mean that was a weird Christmas, but we made the best of it, and this Christmas we'll make the best of it, and hopefully next year we return back to being with family and being with friends.
You know what? We all have to keep that in mind. Like I want to share, my sister has battled cancer twice, and she's doing amazingly well. And we've had some 2 Christmases that we got that bad news right when Christmas was happening. So for everyone that's struggling, for everyone that's going through a hard time right now, things will get better. I know it's hard to see now, but it will improve. And you just gotta live one 10 minutes at a time if you need to, 1 hour at a time if you need to.
Absolutely.
And we're all together on this.
Mm-hmm. And, hopefully next week we get together with Dean and with Matt again, and we can laugh with each other again and do this, even though we're doing it virtually. We're still laughing. We're still getting together, and hopefully we continue. So that's my wish for the new year. I'm going to play us off with a song from the episode. You'll probably recognize this song because it was played so often. It's called Feel the Lightning by Dan Deacon. And usually this was followed by Bonnie McMurray. she walked out of the kitchen.
In 2021, I'm going to have a Bonnie McMurray body.
Hey.
Nice.
Hey now.
Me too.
Sadly, I'm going to probably have a Squirrely Dan body. But, you know.
Oh, dear. Getting used for Christmas, you got overalls underneath the tree out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all we have for this episode. Next week, our friend Dean Giles from the How Are You Now podcast will join us for his regular season recap. In the meantime, don't forget to give our sponsor DG Pop Customs some love. You can follow him on Facebook and Instagram at DG Pop Customs. On Twitter, he's Dennis Gugin, and he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. And having said that, season 4 is coming up, and we're looking for a sponsor. If you're interested in partnering up with us, give us a DM and let us know, and we'll work something out. Please rate us on iTunes if you like the show. If you don't like the show, rate us as well. We'll read it out, and we'll have fun with it. Follow us on Twitter at ProduceStandPod. Thanks for joining us. We're now going to eat some full-size coffee crisps, which are another delicious treat that's only available in Canada. You're all missing out. On behalf of Matt, Victor, Tanya, and myself, thank you for listening. Have a great weekend. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Be safe and be healthy.